The following presentation is for mature audiences only. Who are you?
He's a fine man.
All hell is broken loose.
He's a great broadcaster.
He's a very powerful guy.
Absolutely brilliant.
Feared by men, adored by women.
He's a smart boy.
It's patriotic.
It's no big deal.
It's the end of the world.
I might as well tell you now. He's a monkey.
And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Welcome in to another edition of The Wild Side with Eric Clark. I'm your host, Eric Clark, saying thank you for taking time out of your busy day being awesome to give my little video a watch and a listen. If you like it, like it. If you think other people are going to like it, give it a share. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're following. Make sure you become a Patreon. All of the links are down below. Become an official CONCURPA simply by following the links. Before we get started in today's video, I do want to say thank you to Connect 200 Music to See and Aunt Betty's Nut Butter. They are proud sponsors of The Wild Side and of The Wild Side Live. Twice a week, Wednesdays 11 a.m., Saturdays 2 p.m. We go live from the east side of Music City, USA. Another gathering of the CONCURPAs, a chance for you to get me your suggestion, get me your questions. 2 hours of fun and frivolity every Wednesday at 11 a.m., Saturdays 2 p.m. Today's video is coming from pretty much every social media outlet. Everyone's been asking me to check out this video from this artist and give my thoughts. So today we are checking out Oliver Anthony, Rich Men North of Richmond, which is obviously about politicians. So looking forward to it. I like his guitar. I like the way these guitars sound. I'm not sure why, because I'm not a musician. So let me know down below with everything I need to know about Oliver Anthony and the guitar and why it sounds that way. So today we're checking out Oliver Anthony, Rich Men North of Richmond on the Wild Side. Here we go.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men, north the rich men. I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men, north the rich men. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
Man, talk about a connection, right? Talk about a connection. Oliver Anthony with his track Rich Men North of Richmond. Let me try to separate the lyrics and the theme from the sound. Okay, let me talk about the sound first. There's something about less is more. And that's a great example of that idiom. Sometimes less is more. Excuse me. Got me. When you just allow someone to emote, you get lightning in a bottle. And that's what you're hearing here. It's 2 instruments, 3. It's his voice, the guitar, and his feelings. Those emotions, I talk about this a lot. What makes a song good, sometimes great, is that the person writing the song writes it for one individual reason. They have their reason for writing this song. And yet they make a connection to complete and total strangers, which means there's a universality to what they're creating, whether it's musically and it connects, whether it's lyrically or thematically and it connects. There's something brilliant about that I'm of which I am envious. The ability to take something that is uniquely individual and make it universal. That's what we struggle with as comedians. We take all of the pain we suffered as children and young adults, and we turn it into jokes, hopefully that it relates to people in the audience. So that's what makes a good songwriter, is being able to make something that is uniquely theirs consumable by the masses. And everybody makes that connection to it. I wrote down, but it is. Sometimes in songs, they deviate from the predictive AI, meaning your brain is conditioned to hear things flow a certain way in a certain direction. And sometimes when that direction is changed for creative reasons, it's either going to throw you off and it will sound off, or it will be the thing you didn't know you needed to hear. And that's what he created in that moment. But it is that drop down. Your brain is thinking it's going in one direction, but that nice, pretty little harmonious drop down right there. That's the hook. For me, it was anyway. For me, that was the you build and build and build, and then suddenly he brings you back down to this. Oh yeah, don't get too worked up. Bring it back down to this manageable level here. So musically, it's a great example of less is more. Less is more. Sometimes it doesn't work out well, but in this instance right here, I think it's a very well done 2-instrument song. It really is. It creates what I like about his vocals. He's Appalachia, and you can tell he's Appalachia just by how he forms and shapes some of his words. And he's natural. So there's an ease. I call it the aw shucks. It's what some musicians of the bluegrass, country music, rockabilly era fall into, the aw shucks. They make it sound so seamless, and I'm just picking and grinning here. And yet it's not. It's much more complicated than that. There's much more movement in his vocals and in his chord progression. It's not that simple. But it's so authentic, his vocals and the harmonies that he's creating with his instrument, that nothing is off. Everything is nice and smooth. The texture is super smooth and super rich, right? Nice and thick through all of the vocals. And when he's getting into some of these ranges, what you're hearing is almost a yodel, is what you're hearing in a lot of this. Dwight Yoakam is very good with this, being able to take that ending of a vocal and tweak it a little bit to create that unique sound. So very well done, musically speaking. I was surprised. I really was. I thought that it was just going to be some strumming. It's not. He created really beautiful harmonies between his vocal up and down ebb and flow with the guitar. So very well done, man. That was very well done. And it was so natural and authentic. And we're going to get to the lyrics here, that you start to feel simpatico. You start to sympathize and empathize with what he's saying. It connects to a very large majority of people who will hear this. What he's talking about in this song is universal, yet he makes it personal with the harmonies, with the textures of the song. He makes the lyrics that are universal. Yeah, I get you, dude. I hear you. I feel you. This is one of those songs where someone's like, bro, I feel this song. Like, yeah, of course you do. It reminded me, and I wrote this down. It reminded me, stick with me, please. It reminded me of the Eddie Vedder, Mike McCready, and I can't remember who else did it. It was the Bob Dylan 35th anniversary concert, and it was their version of Masters of War. And for some reason, what Eddie Vedder does with those lyrics about that subject matter creates such a connectable emotion that you start to get emotional about it, about what he's singing about. You're like, yeah, dude, I feel this song. I feel this frustration. I feel this exacerbation of my life. I feel this sense of hopelessness. And when you talk to people about politics, people who aren't invested in politics, I'm talking about regular people, again, who he's talking to. This is a regular dude. He looks like, look, man, he just worked a shift and is doing this down at the Roadhouse, right? There's an authenticity there. That's the average person. He's an average dude. He's just a very talented musician, but he's been living this regular life that we've all lived. We all struggle to pay bills. We all struggle to feel like we have a purpose. We struggle to feel hope in things that are out of our control. And when you see the world around you, what they are focusing on are the things that we, the people, the average person, don't focus on. While the things we do focus on are just left to the wind. And you can hear that frustration in his vocals. So that's what makes it powerful as well, because this is one of those tracks where you listen to it and the harmonies that are created around it add an energy to the lyrics that then create this emotional, visceral connection with the song. And that's why it's hitting people. It's hitting people because it's hitting home. It's like a good joke. It's funny because it's true. I mentioned Masters of War. There's another song that this made me think of, and it almost made me cry, tear up, not out of sadness or anything like that, but out of like, yeah, dude, is A Country Boy Can Survive by Bocephus, Hank Williams Jr. It's a very powerful song. It's a very powerful song. When you listen to the lyrics and you understand that life that they're talking about, it hits differently. So when you're listening to his lyrics of this song, it hits you differently. And then when you've got those beautiful harmonies around it, it allows you to turn yourself over to that reflection of emotion. Say, why am I feeling this way? What can I do about it? It's almost a motivating track, isn't it? For as stripped down and almost second gear the song is, it almost creates an urgency in you. Not a panic, but an urgency, a motivation. Again, you feel it. When you feel something, that's when change will come. Change will come when we all start to feel the same way. But right now, we're not all feeling the same way. We're very divided. But not until we feel the same way will the rich men north of Richmond ever change. Because we're asking the rich men north of Richmond to fix the rich men north of Richmond, and they have no reason to change. They don't think it's broken. And that's what he's singing about. The disconnect between the rich men north of Richmond and everybody else. It's not the South. It's not the North. It's everywhere. And that's where it's gotten to. And you can hear and feel those emotions not only through the lyrics, but you hear them and feel them through his vocals and through his instrument. And when you layer all of those together, just 3 or 4 simple things, you come out with a really beautiful song. So well done, Oliver Anthony, Rich Men North of Richmond. Thank you to the entirety of the internet for screaming at me for the past 2 days. Even though you're not my supervisor, I do got to make the people happy. So thank you very much for the suggestion. I appreciate it. It was a beautiful song. I hope nothing but the best for this guy. And I hope that whoever collects him, whoever scoops him up, manages him properly and allows him to explore, as we would with Bob Dylan, as we would with Hank Williams. Allow him to explore his life, his culture, and allow him to put that into music to be consumed by those that relate to it. That's all he's going to ask for, and I hope that that's what he's given. So well done, Oliver Anthony. I wish nothing but the best for you in the future. That was a beautiful song with beautiful harmonies, great vocals, great simplicity in its beauty. So thank you very much for that. And thank you to everybody for taking time out of your busy day being awesome to watch my video today. Thank you to Connect 200 Music to See and Aunt Betty's Nut Butter. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you're following on social media. Make sure you're looking out for each other. Make sure you're looking out for your neighbor. Try to do at least one good thing a day. I am Eric Clark, and this has been The Wild Side.